Welcome to the course Developing a Dashboard for Reporting on your Manpower Plan. So in this course, I'm going to show you how you can make use of Excel to design a dashboard for the purpose of reporting your Manpower Plan. What is Manpower Planning? Now, I think it would be nice for us to discuss Manpower Planning by exploring the two key phrases here, which is one, manpower and planning. Now, manpower is all about the human resource required within organizations, the people elements within an organization. While planning is about thinking ahead and making the appropriate provisions to ensure that you are ready for what is to come. So when you now think of manpower planning jointly, it simply means what you're doing is thinking ahead in terms of the human elements that you will require between now and the future to deliver your goals, the ultimate prize, whatever it is. So that is manpower planning in itself. Now, there's something also we need to explore when it comes to manpower planning. Manpower planning doesn't just happen. So a business decides that, in the coming year, this is going to be our strategy. And the core focus for us is going to be growth in our core business. Now, what this means is that when you say growth in your core business, it could mean different things. But within this context, we're saying growth because probably that we have a company that we have a company that deals in let's say biscuits. This is our company. The company deals in biscuits, and it operates in let's say Israel, for instance, and its operation within Israel is within a city center. So the business now decides that, you know what, we want to capture the entirety of Israel as a country. So meaning that there's need for us to expand into different areas of Israel, still producing our biscuits. Now, what will happen is the question will be, when do we want to move into these market spaces? Now, when we are moving into these market spaces, what part of our business activities will be moving into these market spaces? It could be we're moving production, maybe we'll also be producing in those areas, or we're just moving marketing and support services. So when you identify all of these things, the question you now need to ask yourself is, in terms of our human capital, the manpower within our organization as of dates available to us, can it meet this strategy of expansion? If it cannot, then we have ascertained that we don't have the right number of employees or talents that can help propel our expansion into other parts of Israel. So the next question will now be, okay, when do we want to move into other parts of Israel? So probably we are saying that, oh, okay, we're going to start operations in this other part of Israel by the month of May 2022. And this place will start by the month of August as well. So it simply means that in terms of the human resource that or the manpower need that we've identified, we need to make them available. The ones that will operate here at this time, we need to make them available at this time. So in a nutshell, manpower planning is just about you thinking ahead in terms of the human resource talents that you will need to help you deliver on your goals, your expectations within a time frame, and ensuring that these individuals also have what it takes to deliver on your expectations. So that is um, the core of manpower planning, putting in place a plan to ensure that your talent needs, your personnel need are met as at when required. So, what are the likely features on your dashboard? This course is all about you designing a dashboard for the purpose of reporting on your manpower plan. So, when it comes to the features that you should think of on your dashboard, you would definitely be looking at something like this. Head count. You need to be looking at something like this, which is head count, head count, head count versus projected. That means the projected head count. Um, you also probably will need to look at things like growth in these two, in head count. You also need to look at the period in which this additional head counts, periods in which these additional head counts are to be added. Um, Another thing will be the financial implications of this additional headcount, because at the end of the day, if you're bringing in new talents, it simply means that your wage bill will go up. You need to start thinking of that. Um, Now, you probably also need to look at the cost implication for bringing in these talents. Another thing to look at will be the types of contracts. The types of contracts. Some will be permanent, some will be um, independent contracting and all of those. So another thing, quite a lot of things you can look into. Another thing you can also look into will be if you have a diversity or related agenda. So example is, okay, if you've decided that in terms of improving on your diversity and inclusion within the organization, um, there are set KPIs that your organization has keyed into. So you need to probably um, take this on as part of those things you will also track on your dashboard, and many other things, etc. So, like I said, taking it from the top, head count, current head count versus projected head count. You need to look at that, stay on top of it. What will be the growth in terms of your current to your projected periods of the periods in which the new head count will be added into your workforce, the financial implication for additional head count, because when you're bringing them in, obviously it's going to impact your wage bill, like I've mentioned earlier on, the cost of bringing in these people, that's recruitment costs, because at different levels there are different costs attached to them. The types of contract you are thinking of, if you have a diversity program, you can also um, identify this in your dashboard, and many other things that comes to mind. So now we'll quickly look at some of the dashboard I have worked on, and I would take you through how I was able to achieve one of them. So this is the first interface I'll be showing to you. Here you have the entire dashboard that captures some of the things I have mentioned earlier on as features that you can possibly track on your dashboard. The first box here, which is interactive, is the current head count. So it looks at the current head count within this organization. The second here is projected head count, the growth in headcount, which is expected in the course of the year, and the year in reference is the financial year 2022. Headcount difference, current wage bill, and projected wage bill as at for the financial year by the end of the year. Now, also capturing the current headcount within the senior management cadre, the projected within the same senior management cadre, the growth, middle management, the junior staff, and growth like that. So a graph is also created here looking at current headcount versus projected headcount across talent segmentations. We take it that this organization has talent segmentations. Then again, we see that so here you have the recruitment months across cadres. So this shows when new additions will be added into the organization. And the last graph here shows the flow of additions, increase in your salary, in your wage bill month on month. And I've provided a slicer here for the purpose of interaction. Now, in terms of this dashboard, like I mentioned earlier on, it depends on the things you want to see on your dashboard. So you can have it expanded beyond this. So I'll be discussing this dashboard and showing you how I arrived at this dashboard. Having said that, I will also show you a second dashboard that I also designed for the purpose of reporting. So this is the second dashboard. What you have here, also the same look and feel, but more of tables and some graphs. So you have current head count and projected head count across departments. You have uh, employment contracts between contract employment and permanent employment. You have tables segmentation, some of projected cost for hire, different things like that. So these are uh, two different interface for reporting your manpower or tracking activities as far as your manpower plan is concerned. So now we'll go into the work area to review the dashboard that I discussed earlier on. Okay, welcome to the work area for our Excel. Um, So the first thing I would like to quickly talk about will be the formatting of our header. So you have manpower planning dashboard here. How did I achieve this? So first and foremost, all of these cells from here to this point was merged. And how do you do that? You simply highlight where you want to merge. So let's say unmerge everything. You see that it's not merged. So you just select everything again. Once you select, just click on merge. You see it sitting in the middle, you align left. So that is it. Then generate the text, just type in there your formatting. You can decide to bold in it and probably increase your font size. If you want to increase your font size, you go to font size and maybe increase it to 20 or whatever you choose. You can even choose to change your font color. I've used white. You can use yellow as the case may be. Then coming to this point, the same thing has happened, merged all cells and then typed in year, financial year. Now, in terms of financial year, all you need to do, so if you look here, you see that you can select your financial year if it's 2023, if it's 2022. So to achieve this, you just go to data. Once you go to data, you go to data validation. From data validation, you click on list, allow list. So once you click on allow list, then you type in source here 2021, 2022, 2023 to 2025, and you click OK. So once you click OK, you have your drop down. You can format this cell to suit your aesthetics. Uh, so you go back there, you probably would see, okay, yes, we've done this, but in terms of formatting your space, you can just use Control 1. Control 1 will go, you can do border, fill border. If you want to change the color for a border, maybe you're choosing this for instance, and you want it to be here like this. If that is the case, you click OK, and you see that you have your border around it. It depends on what you want to do um, with your formatting. Now, um, the same way I've selected this cells is how I've done to this extreme. So you just select to this extreme and then go to home to do your fill color. So that's what I did. Now let's go into the table proper. Now before I could achieve this, there's a place, there's a sheet where my primary data is stored. So we'll go there. Here you have all my data. You have different tables on this sheet that shows department, that shows talent segmentation, the current head count, projected head count, etc. You have another table that shows the cadre, that shows the current wage bill, um, projected wage bill. I mean, all like that. So working from this table, I was able to create all of these things you see here. So how do we go about that? So first thing first, you select the table of interest. So once you select the table of interest, you go to insert, and you see pivot table. You can click on from this table. If you want it from this table, you click. If you want it from this table, you put your cursor here, and then you go there and say insert. So let's quickly do something from this table. Now, this is the name of the table. So you can say existing sheet, or you can say that a new sheet. So in terms of existing sheet, I have a sheet already where I created everything you have on that dashboard. So let's go to existing sheet. So to go to the sheet that has been created, this head count. Uh, Now for the head count, you can just type in location. You can just go to location. This is the location. You see that it's picked head count already. So you need to select the area where you want to place your pivot table. So let's say we select this point. Once you do that, you click on OK. So you see your pivot table. So you can do everything you want to do from this point. Now, what I've done here is to ensure that on this same sheet, I have multiples of pivot tables. So quite a lot of everything was created on this sheet. So if you look at head count, for instance, this is a pivot table on its own. So selected head count, and you have it under values because you just want to show the count of head count, the number. The same thing with projected head count. It's also a pivot table on its own. So basically, you click on pivot projected head count. Once you click on projected and insert under value, it will show up like this. Now, to help me quicken my pace, all I did was just to highlight everything, copy it. Once you copy it, you can go ahead and insert. Just insert somewhere. You see that you still have the same thing there, but because probably I want to just use the format, but the different I'm interested in something different. Let's say let's remove that. Cannot be overlapped. So you change it because why is it cannot overlap another pivot table? Okay, that's the case because there's a pivot table over here. Let's delete this. So anyways, copy and then paste, and you can now decide on which to select. The same thing for everything. And one other thing I want you to note is that now for each of these pivot tables, each of these data, I decided to give them a unique name. So for under current account, and I said current account, under current head count, 178, I gave it a name which is the table. I gave it a name which is current head count. So for you to, because we need to do this so that the style of dashboard I have created here can work for us. So projected head count. So this is the number. Now what am I saying? Let's look for the pivot table I created earlier on. So let's look for something. Let's say current wage. So this is the current wage. So you highlight, you go to pivot table analyze. Um, we want to change, try to edit this. It's sum I don't want it to be sum of anything, just an enter. Then you go to design. I want it reported in tabular form. I change my pivot table style. This is what I've been using. Click on it, go home. Once you go home, I mean, this is naira, sorry, and dollars, and you have that as $406,000. Now, what I was saying initially is that for me to be able to pick this item and have it plotted in the style I have on my dashboard, because these are shape boxes, all I need to do is click this, and you can see that it's showing B68 because that's the cell, but I want to name it something else. So I just call it current current wage bill 2, because I think I have something already called current wage bill. Enter. So now, why did I do that? Because if I want to pick it, all I need to do is equals to current wage bill 2. So you see it shows up. That is that. So now let's go back to the dashboard proper. So how did I achieve each of these boxes? So first thing first, you go to insert, you go to illustration, you click on shape, and then you pick a shape. So I chose this, and then you come, you place it. Once you place it, now in terms of the name here, all I've done is just to merge the cells. So you merge the cells, and the cells beneath it, just merge the cells. Um, Merge. Once you merge it, give it a fill. Type in what you want to put there. Current wage bill. Current wage bill. So once you do that, you have it like that. I'm just showing a rough walk so that you can easily do your own practice. Now, what I will now do is go to my formula bar and then click inside it, equals to, then we saved it, a text we want to make use of as current current wage bill 2. Enter. So you see that it's shown up in our text box. So you see, you have it in your text box. Once you have it there, then you can now format it. So you click on it, size probably 18, align to the bottom, then align middle, bold it. We see that we're missing one zero. You can just decrease the font size, and that's what you have. So that is how I achieved this. Now, if you're using an Office 365, the beauty of it is that you go to insert. Once you go to insert, you go to illustration, you go to icon. So once you go to icon, you have different options. You can go to cartoon people. There you can select the different characters I have there. So maybe this, insert. With that done, you have all these people here. Then you can make adjust the height 0.74 and 0.24. So you have it there. So you can pick these people, put them in there if you want to. Resize it, just put them, resize it. Let's do so. So you resize and you put it in the space. Um, so once that is done, that's how you get the shape. You put them in there, just like I've placed them here. And at the end of the, once you are done with the whole process, Let me see. Once you're done with the whole process, um, okay, you know what? Let's reinsert it because I don't like the way it's looking. Mm, let's put it here. Let's click on this place. Let's go to insert, um, illustration, icons, cartoon people. We're picking him. Insert. So, okay. Now let's make adjustments to our height, 0.74, which is what I used for the other one, and then 0.24. Now you have these two individuals. All you need to do is now place them in there. Let's click them separately. It seems our man is too big. Okay, put it there. And you also click on our lady and you place her properly as well. So, I mean, this is how it's been done. Um, Decide to give it your own, okay, to achieve the same thing that I've done there. Um, it's white background, no outline color. Click no outline color. So why you have this is I gave it shadow. So you go to shape effect under shape format, you go there, you go to shadow. This is what I selected. So this is what you have. So this is the same thing that I've done is what I have done for everything here. Do your shaping, do your mid cell merge, um, pick everything that has been created here, everything that's been created here, give it your own unique name for the easy for ease of identification. Once you do that, bring them into each of these cells and place them the way you want to report them. So that is how all of these were achieved. Now, in terms of the graphs, the same approach, you see that it's still within the same work area. So for the graph, this is new hire January to February. So the way it's placed, you pick them and you plot them. So here, new hire, you find new hire under column. This is new hire under column. You find the values, which is January to December. Then you also find the management cadre here. Now, in terms of plotting, all you need to do is once you are done, you just go into insert and click on recommended chart if you're not interested, but I was more particular about lines. So you just go to line and choose which one is of interest to you. This is what I have achieved here. And once you've done that, just copy it and bring it to where you want to place it. In terms of placing it, I decided to place it here. So this shows how um, the recruitment methods or the recruitment months across CADA, when you would bring in new talent as it goes. So that is that. Then the last one here is the salary growth month on month. The same thing has been done here. So if you come here, you will see that there is a table for that already. By saying, okay, insert the pivot table. So for this, let's see, you go to analyze field list. You see everything here is being plotted. And once that is done, you also click on the the graph. The graph, just the way I explained earlier on, all you need to do is go to insert and I decide to go with line 3D, which is this, and then you have it. Once you're done with that, you copy it and you come to your dashboard, place it wherever you want to place it, and you have your dashboard. Then the last thing here is slicer. Now for the slicer, what you do is you click on any of the dashboard, any of the pivot table that you're interested in to select the the slicer from. So for instance, if we click on projected middle management, all you need to do is go to click on slicer, then you see different things that you can pick here. So let's say permanent employment. Click OK. You have it here. I mean, people will be on permanent employment, but this doesn't make sense, so we won't be using that. Let's look for, let's pick something else. Um, so insert slicer. Let's use talent segmentation. So you have talent segmentation here. Now, this is functional in itself, but probably you need to connect the reports. So you have all the different pivot tables on this sheet. So wherever you want to connect it. So you just click one, two, three, four, anything you click on, it's affected already, and say OK. So once you're done with that, you copy it and take it to your dashboard and decide on where you want to place it. Let's say we want to place here. Okay, so corporate, you see that it's effective on the pivots that we've selected. So that is what I have done here. So if you click on electrical department, for instance, you will see that there is a change to see the situation in electrical department. You see, it's very interactive to at least gives you an idea of what you're dealing with. Now, like I said initially during the overview, I said there are a lot of things that can serve as features of your dashboard depending on what you're interested in. However, this is just the basics as far as how to build your dashboard. I hope this has been helpful, and I wish you more insights into